Hello and welcome. What's happening, Brian?
Hey, crazy week.
Welcome to the Fool's Journey, my friends. That was the Hanged Man video from
yeah, that's it. That's probably the most somber of the videos, I've this is kind of a weird, going to be a weird special kind of edition because, we're in the eights here. I'll wait to bust this out before I give a little pre-sell. We're in the eights this week. The eights we're coming off of the craziness and the insanity and the feeling like failures and illusions and all the other bullshit that goes with the sevens. And the eights have come back to a stability and a smoothness and a high level of energy that can help you get something actually accomplished. And while the sevens represent this kind of crazy, like everywhere energy that's not solid in any way, the eights are in fact solid, but they also come with rules. And some of us don't respond so well to rules. However, structure, a basic structure, can allow for creativity to be pushed way beyond.
Mhm.
If the basics of what you're going to be doing every time just kind of gets down and it's there, then you're not really repeating that every single time you're going off.
Right.
Really great energy area. And there's a power to the eights as well. So this week we're dealing specifically with the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands fire card, and it's kind of a cool card in that it represents like really speedy news, like kind of instant news on something of import that you're going to hear about really, really fast. Can you blow that up a little bit, Michael?
Absolutely, yeah.
If you look at the top up there, you see the symbol for Mercury in the photograph, right? At the very, very top in the center.
Yeah.
So that means that Mercury is exalted in this with this card, and it's exalted also scan down as well, all the way to the bottom. Yeah, keep going. There you go. You got the symbol for Sagittarius. That is the sign that is exalted in. So it's talking about like everything that Mercury stands for: systems, plans, communication, art and science, anything that requires like skills, and a structure. Again, a structure for like for music. Music theory is based upon a structured concept of frequencies and intervals, and that's pretty much what our modern music is based on. And of course you can always be into experimental stuff and just it's random sounds and that kind of thing, but by and large music is on a structure of intervals. So Mercury really relates to this card in that it's about communication and getting information fast. So whatever job you're waiting on, you don't really know, but you know that you're going to be hearing something really fast. It's possible for you to know, but not necessarily. Okay, so by the way, do you have any thoughts on this card, Mr. Zen?
Well, I mean, we had a discussion earlier about the swift news that you got when you right when you spoke about this.
Okay, does the actual numeral 8 look like anything to you?
Oh, of course, yeah. The numeral 8 is infinity.
Yeah, the infinity symbol. And you'll find the infinity symbol on the Magus card, which is all about Mercury again, and a whole bunch of other places along the way. Hey, by the way, hey, Trish, hey, Jilly, what's up? What's up? Tammy, hey. Oh, there's Celestial too. It's a whole cruise like there. Awesome. Glad to see you guys.
Yes, thank you for joining, bringing your energy here.
When we move over to the 8, okay, so that's the energy of this potential energy, and it's like this anticipation of something about to happen, and it also speeds up like whatever's going on. The sevens kind of clouded over stuff, like the 7 of Cups, where you're looking at all these choices. You don't know. Well, I can't decide. Now there's clarity, and now there's like speed, and now there's energy to get what you want to have happen. And as a matter of fact, the road is so open for that at this moment in time that you kind of have to be a little bit careful not to go really too fast and not go, not screw something up along the way. It's really good to be methodical, but boom, you've got the road to go. So
Mhm,
that's really
mhm,
great
mhm.
news. Then we go over to the Eight of Cups, which is the emotions, right? So after the emotional like harangue of the Seven of Cups, where you're like looking at all these options, none of them look good. They all just seem like wisp in the wind and delusion and illusion, and nothing seems to be looks as it actually is.
Right,
So
I don't
it's
have
just
that
really
image.
that's a really confusing, horrible freaking space. And the Eight of Cups represents coming to some clarity about that. Some meanings, it is kind of an interesting card because it has several, depending on where you're going, it has several people, several interpretations. And one of them is it's actually like the morning after, like you've been partying and the whole seven, it was like the whole excess and like, oh my God. And like, and the eight is the morning after when you realize, holy shit, I need to check into rehab. So a lot of times this card is like if a person is having a problem with drinking or addiction of some kind, this is a card that will really like kind of tip that,
Wow,
right? It's a really
significant, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The other thing is it can just be like deciding that what you've been involved in is just not worth it anymore. And
Mhm,
you just turn around and walk off and just
mhm,
leave it and start something new, which is, depending on how deeply you're ingrained in it, can be more or less difficult. But at this point, with the Eight of Cups, what that usually signifies is it doesn't really matter how difficult it is, situation needs to change.
mhm, mhm.
Okay, so then we go to the Eight of Swords. Any thoughts about that one?
No, I was thrown off because I didn't, have my hard drive, and I don't have the images, but I do have this card ready to go. So
Yeah.
I was thrown off a little bit, but hold
Okay.
on, let me do this. There you go.
Well, the Eight of Swords kind of represents either a situation that you view as your prison that you can't get out of, or it represents a self-imposed situation that becomes your individual prison.
Mhm,
And the key to this card is that you're looking out through these swords that are stuck in the ground and becoming your jail bars, but all you have to do is turn around and look, and the room is open behind you. And
mhm,
it's only your adherence to this particular point of view and this particular way of thinking that makes you feel imprisoned and trapped. And that by changing your perspective, by looking in a different direction, by trying something new and a different energy field, you can move away from what looks like your prison and move into the new direction that you're actually seeking. A lot of times when you're stymied like that, it's because you need that new direction, and you need to go in a different place. And the ways that you've been living and the modes that you've been carrying out as your methodologies no longer serve you.
mhm.
So it's hard to give those up. And sometimes, if you can turn around and see that there's open road behind you and there are other options besides just the dead end,
That
it's
one I can relate to. I can definitely
yeah.
relate to that card right there.
Okay, and last but not least, which is the Ace of Pentacles, which happens to be like I did a little four-column pull for the show tonight, and that was the first card I pulled.
Wow.
And what's really cool about that card is like the seven of sword or the seven of pentacles represents failure. And it represents the times in your life where you go at something super hard and for whatever reason it doesn't work out. And as you remember, the key to that card is to stay strong, stay like on the road, not get discouraged and quit, and take
Mhm,
the failure, analyze it, take it apart, figure out why it failed, what worked in it, and learn, and come back the next time and try it again. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to get it the next time, but
mhm.
it guarantees that if you keep trying, regardless of how many times it takes, you're going to get.
One step
So after
closer to success.
So after you get there, after you've like gone through the whole like thing with the seven of pentacles, now you're at the eight of pentacles, and that represents the brand new thing. That's the apprentice card. Yep. That is the card where you're going after some new learning. Usually you have a mentor or a teacher of some kind that's kind of showing you the ropes in this whole, it's a brand new area for you. So
Mhm.
you kind of in a way, you're pulling on your emotional stuff, your work ethic, and all that. But as far as understanding the actual job you have to do, you started over. But you're busting ass and you're
Mhm.
doing really good. And what this card represents is that really swift learning and gaining a new foothold in a way that you can sustain yourself. This card also, like the Three of Pentacles, represents like succeeding at what you were doing and having something that becomes popular and in demand and that you're making a buttload of money.
Mhm.
This card, however, represents learning for learning's sake. And you might be making a pittance along the way to like sustain yourself
Mhm.
and stay with this for a little while.
Mhm.
But you're not really going to be getting paid for this. What the pay for this is the learning and the knowledge.
Knowledge. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Got it.
So did you have any seven experiences last week, or would you like me to stop asking you questions?
No, no. I
It
mean,
looks like you're in pain every
I
time I ask
yeah,
you. You're
it
like,
puts me on
"Oh
the
my
spot a
god,
little
he's
bit.
asking
It
me
puts me
again."
on the spot. You're like, oh wait, exercise this brand new muscle you just found, and I'm like, oh wait, where's that muscle again? Um, so
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying what I was thinking about as you were asking me the questions were I enjoy how open to interpretation all of the things are. Each card, has a way of, if it should apply to the current situation, every card. I think in its way, and I think the magic of the cards is the ones that you pull, but there's always a message in the cards, so that's kind of what I'm feeling about the meanings of all the cards.
So when you pull cards, they might mean something different every time you pull them?
Yeah, yeah, when you pull a card, I think it's going to apply to your situation and the energy that is going
Yeah, but
to.
is the basic premise of what the card kinda represents different every time for you?
No, no, what I'm saying is I feel like I can take the meanings of each card, right? And the whole deck, apply it, apply each meaning that's there. The meaning's not changing, but apply that meaning to some aspect of the situation, right? No matter what the situation is, but it's the messages that you get with the cards are the ones that come out at that moment. They come to you because of the energetic connection to that moment. I guess if that makes sense.
Does that work?
It works.
It does? Okay.
For me, it works. It makes sense. It's like, at any given moment, the energy, I mean, the analogy, I guess, that has been kind of popping through my head is the saying of, you don't walk through the same river twice, right? And the reasoning behind that is that the water is constantly flowing and changing. So even though the river is in the same place and it's physically spanning the same gap, it's not actually the same river. Sometimes the river is more polluted because of the weather, sometimes it's clearer, and I think that's true of yourself. I think that, you're never the same river twice. You're constantly growing and evolving and changing, and you've still got the same water, but sometimes that water's polluted, sometimes that water's clear. It's like, I don't know. I know you think I'm a wacko, but
Dude, if you do a reading and it's accurate and it works, it doesn't matter to me
right,
one iota.
right.
If it's all just talking and bullshit and nothing actually comes of it, then you can just say anything.
Right, right. No, no, of
Key is
course.
in whether it actually works when you put it to the test.
Right.
But that's up to you.
Mhm.
Okay, so eights. So I guess you didn't really have any like eight experience or anything like that that you wanna really.
Um, well, I mean, with the 8 experience, I think yes, I did. I don't really know if I want to elaborate on it, but I'm working on certain situations with my job and with different opportunities that you know may or may manifest themselves, and I've been um anxious about it, and I made a decision to pursue some answers, and I got the answers. I mean, so I think when you told me earlier, when we spoke yesterday, or maybe it was on text, about the speedy news, I was able to you know kind of apply that to that situation you
Okay.
know
Well, Saturday I went to load up the announcement for the show onto Facebook, which I've noticed over the last couple of weeks. Like with the major arcana stuff, it seemed like the living it part of it would start the night of the show.
Mhm, mhm.
But of late, it's kind of seemed like the minute I post it, that's when that energy sort of kicks in. So it is Saturday, and Saturday 4/8/2023. Okay, it's the 8th, and it's 4 and the 8, which is 12 plus. What is that? What is that? What is that? No, that's not 8. But the 4 and the 8 are like the like keys to that.
Mhm.
And I posted a thing about the 8, and the little thing on it said speedy news. So it wasn't a 30, 45 minutes later. Um, I see a little blurb about a friend of mine who's not doing so well, and I call and leave a message on his phone, and like instantly, his son Peter calls me back and lets me know he passed away.
Mhm.
This guy was, uh, man, I don't even know how to describe it. I lost a lot of my blood family and extended family when I was really young in my 30s. And over the years, you wind up replacing those people with, new people that you meet and bring into your fold. And I moved down here to Florida in '93 from an agency up in Atlanta, and Richie Kahn was working down here at an agency called Harris Terry Cohen, and he and I wound up being our director. We were creative directors, and we were our director writing partners. And Richie, man, I yeah, I had such a good time working with Richie
Mhm.
because we were both at stages in our career where we were having fun and wanting to bust ass and really do good stuff. I was wanting to build a reel and go off and be a commercial director, and
Mhm.
Richie'd been doing stuff for a long, long time. He was a big New York guy, worked at NBC, did a bunch of shows, a bunch of really bad shows, by the way. I used to bust on him about that all the time. He came up with the NBC Peacock, a bunch of crazy stuff. But my favorite three things he did,
He came up with the NBC Peacock.
he did, yes. I know that sounds
Wow,
like bullshit, but he actually did.
that's amazing. No,
Yeah,
that's
and
amazing.
and these are the three. Like you work in a big New York shop, you work on hundreds and hundreds of things, but these three things were just my favorites. He came up with the name for Count Chocula and Frankenberry.
No,
He wrote
no.
he wrote that, and all
Wait a
those
second. Wait a
original
second. Hold on a
commercials and
second.
stuff with Frankenberry, and like, dude, that's part of the fabric of my childhood. That's like, wow, really amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't. You started talking, and I didn't realize that this was all the stuff that you had sent me.
Yeah.
Um, that's
So
phenomenal. And Jilly's saying so sorry for your loss, and I expressed that to you earlier.
thanks,
Of course,
Julie.
that's horrible, but amazing how you can
Well, we're
look
here to
back and
celebrate
get
it
so much
tonight.
joy from looking back on what you're looking back at, you know,
And we're here to celebrate. I feel
yeah,
so blessed to have had him as my friend and my family member, and his wife and kids. They're all my like
right,
family.
and
I
what's
love
this?
them
Oh my
dearly.
god, no way, he came up with legs?
He came up with a great nothing beats a great pair of legs. I mean,
Wow, oh
you
my
know,
god.
for a boy with a pantyhose fetish, it was like, wow! And
Man,
every drugstore you went in with these goofy eggs, man, that was just the
oh
coolest
my
thing.
god, that's amazing, dude, I thought you were a legend. He's even more so of a legend.
He's a
Wow,
legend.
look at
Yeah,
this. Wow, nothing beats a great pair. That is like, I mean, that is seriously like Hall of Fame advertising right there.
it is. It is.
Yeah, and
Absolutely. He was
Count
that level of
Chocula.
guy, man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's not move on yet. Just
Okay,
yet.
okay, okay. I didn't know
Um,
what else I had was,
So, the really great thing, we do this a lot. We had Jan on. We're celebrating artists and creativity and that, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of that than Richie. And one of the great things that I like got out of my relationship with him was fucking think big, man. This dude, like, it was always like the hugest thing ever, the
mhm,
hugest thing
mhm,
ever, and he was always taking the shot. Sometimes he got it good,
mhm,
sometimes he like missed really huge, but he never stopped like pushing the envelope. Where
mhm,
can this go? How can this be bigger? And that, I mean, like I use as part of my fabric and the way I see life every single freaking
mhm,
day, man.
mhm, mhm,
Just
mhm.
really, really, really crazy.
Man,
We did some one of my favorite. Well, curiously enough, I went to my Brian Lar channel today, and YouTube has deleted like a ton of my stuff, which I have
oh, no
absolutely
way.
no idea why. um, Richie and I did this whole campaign for Fort Lauderdale tourism, and we used kids, and they were kind of like doing adult things, and it was just super cute, and they were beautiful. Had this crazy music, won all kinds of awards for them, and that kind of kicked off our relationship. And
Mm.
in that zone, we were doing things. This Del Monte stuff I want you to play. We were doing this back like in 1994, and you look at it now and it's like, wow. And all of this hand animation, nobody was really doing that yet. And
And there's some
all of
other
that was
stuff.
hand painted, bro. None of that was computer generated.
I was,
Every frame was
that's amazing, and I was also looking at this too, and people see this. I think there's a photographic style of the splashes and the things that became so mainstream and so common. Like it's like the early days of that. It's really like
that's exactly.
amazing.
And this you with this campaign
Sevilla,
about
hey,
water
hey, hey.
fluoridation.
Well,
Sevilla, hey, hey, hey. 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 Shinane, shinane, shinane.
nice. This is so awesome. So awesome. Hold on, let me bring up another one of these. These are amazing. Ba, 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 ba. So cool. And let me ask you a couple questions, because again, like, and now I'm noticing a bunch of other things. There's so many layers to this, of course, because it's a Brian Lar creation. There's so much depth to it. But so first of all, I think the photography style is like something you see all over Instagram now. Like people are showing you kind of how to do these setups and have these splashes and do these kind of really cool visual things. The other thing that's really cool, and I noticed, let me just see if I could find the last one. I had one more of those. I believe. Let me see if this is the one.
We shot a lot of that slow motion stuff with photosonic cameras.
Yeah, that's
Those were the
awesome.
cameras that William Edgerton designed.
That's awesome. That's awesome too. Cool.
So
So,
these cameras William Edgerton designed to shoot the plasma burst of a nuclear explosion.
oh
So
wow,
they're actually loaded with film that is going through a camera at like 10,000 frames a second.
wow,
We were shooting with like 1,000 frames a second.
right.
And Photosonics like sends out a technician. They got to oil it between everything. Man,
Oh
and
my
like it
God,
is the
that's insane.
craziest sound when you're
Old school,
oh my
holy
God, you're
moly.
burning through feet of
That's
film. Like, and
crazy.
then but it's all that beautiful, like, yeah, it's just super
Amazing,
cool.
amazing.
All this stuff was
So,
shot on film.
so
Yeah.
the other thing I noticed, which I feel was odd, was the theme, the world music theme. Like it was like, like Del Monte. I mean, to have like, what was the connection with the world music? Where did that come in?
Well, the world music was just first of all, it was something super different, and
Mhm.
these were originally going to be used in a global Del Monte global meeting,
Gotcha.
and it just seemed
That
really
makes sense.
super
Yeah.
appropriate. Yeah, and no
Yeah.
one else was doing that I heard at that
It's so
time.
cool. No, I love it. I thought it
It
was
was
great.
just really different, like and I got like for that one with the didgeridoo, we got to hire Adam Plack, who's like this amazing player. I flew him in. We're sitting in the studio trying to we're in excess was just recording, by the way.
Oh, that's
And
so
so we're
cool.
sitting there trying to figure out how to mic the didgeridoo, and like it's coming from all these different places, and none of it really sounds right. We just like threw it on the floor, and he starts going, and that was like perfect because the sound was like this mist that just hung on the bottom of. Oh, it was amazing. That was that was the best thing
I
about
love that.
working
Yeah.
in advertising was Richie and I would sit there and go, oh, dude, where do we need to go shoot? Let's go to Del Valley.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. And
That
that
was fun.
didgeridoo, I think the didgeridoo was my favorite of the musical
Yeah.
pieces. Yeah.
There were a bunch of those. So anyway, I get a call from Peter Kahn, who I've known, I've known him since he was a little whippersnapper, and I used to like smack him around a little bit.
Mhm.
And now Peter, curiously enough, and this is Richie's son, and Peter is now like like the top boxing promoter in the freaking world.
Wow.
Pretty crazy, pretty crazy.
You were saying,
Which I should say it's a surprise, but he's fucking Richie's son. So
right,
what else do you
right,
expect?
right, right. You were saying he was a protege of
Don
Don
King's.
King, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it was a really bittersweet reconnection with him. Oh,
Right.
and this is a crazy. Okay, I have no idea where this is going. Richie died of lymphoma.
Right. You said he was
And
battling.
and I have to say, man, I've never seen anyone stronger, more courageous, or more absolutely determined not to leave his family ever.
Wow.
And it was really, really difficult and physically over the years. It went on a long time. It wasn't quick. And towards the end, he was like doing lots of multiple transfusions a week.
Mhm.
And man, it was just impossible for him to think about leaving his family. Go ahead and show that picture if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
One of the many miraculous things about Richie is his wife, Esther. And just like a whole lot of genius men, they never would have gotten anywhere without their women. She made him, she kept him in line. And that was no easy task. By the way, if there's an Academy Award for that, Esther, I hope you get it. You deserve every single part of it. They were high school sweethearts, got married in New York, and like Richie's
Wow.
74 now. So they've been together their whole lives,
Wow.
and my heart. So I can't even imagine how you're feeling, Esther. And I'm like, I'm going to be sending you love and energy and healing every single day. Godspeed getting through it as fast as
From
you.
all of us, Esther. From all of us. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a really great. This is my time. I worked in advertising for about 18 years and agencies, and the time I got to work with Richie were just like the best. It was so fun. We lived pretty near each other, and like neither one of us liked being in the office. So we'd get assignments, and we'd go in and we'd look at everybody's stuff, and you know, get people going on the stuff. But neither one of us liked to sit there and crank on stuff. So we would, of course, wait till the very last minute, and we would go to our favorite bagel place at 5:30 in the morning when the bagels were just coming out of the oven, and they opened the door, and you're getting that. Oh, I'm having that orgasm just thinking about that right now. And Richie would bring this pile of ideas, and I would bring this pile of ideas, and we would sit down with the bagel and the coffee and just play, man. And that is my favorite thing about him. My kid and his kid had the best time ever. And we'd sit there for 2 hours and laugh and buzz and cheep. We never ran out of ideas. We just ran out of time to sit and write some more stuff down. As a matter of fact, like Goldberg and a bunch of the other people that were like the account people, they were like, "Oh, Jesus, man, do you have to put up so much stuff on the wall? Can we go?" No, it's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, those times and those moments are now and have been for the last 30 years just treasures. Those like perfect moments that you go back and you like live through and remember, and like it actualizes into your light. You can go back and get that. And I've told that story a billion times, man, because advertising not so fun anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of us, Richie or I, they would tolerate. We'd probably be gone by noon.
Old school, man.
Oh
Man.
man, hey, have some fun. The best thing, I never paid for a vacation for about 18 years.
Listen, that's an impressive portfolio we just showed. Count Chocula and Frankenberry and the legs. I mean, those that's super impressive portfolio.
Yeah, it really was. So anyway, Peter, back to Peter, about another strange twist to all of this, and we'll put this in a little bowl. By the way, I offered for Peter to come on, but I'm sure he's no shape to be doing that. But I hope you see this. I hope everybody's like feels my love and respect and joy and desire to celebrate one of the coolest people I've ever known. So Peter is getting started in his kind of representation mode, and he repped boxers for a while, and before that he was repping some music artists, and he happened to connect me up with this guy named William, who was a lead singer for this band called Madfly that was just trying to make it, and they just recorded something. I thought the music was great. I loved it very, very much, and he kind of connected us up towards doing some album covers and some other stuff. And along the way, it turned out that he was kind of looking for some answers and was like super intrigued by all the magic stuff and where I was at the time and my book that I was making at that time and really going into it. And he wound up camping with me at my house for a couple of days, and we got to be really good friends and tried some other stuff. And then his band's the band kind of blew up and didn't really work, and I lost touch with him and hadn't really communicated. So Peter's on the phone with me yesterday. He goes, "Well, dude, you remember William?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, man." He goes, about a month after that, he went out to California, met Jerry Cantrell, and for the last 15 years, he's been the lead singer of Alice in Chains.
Wow. That's a crazy. He took over for Lane Staley. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So along the way, as Richie and I are, going through it, and he's kind of deteriorating, and he and I had some really intense conversations about death and what happens afterwards, and
Mhm.
choices, and Steppenwolf, and whether you make that choice yourself, and like we kind of really chewed it up a lot. And one of his greatest joys was describing his his grandson, Peter's son, who is like a multi musician guy, man, really great guitar player, plays a lot of other stuff as well, can
Cool.
pretty much just pick it up, play any kind of thing. So
Yeah.
he was always talking to his nephew about me, and or his grandson about me, and he was always busting on me, and unfortunately we never got to meet.
Mhm, mhm.
So Peter mentions at the end of the Williams story, he says, so, my son's you just cut his first, he's getting ready to cut his first album, and Williams going to produce it, man. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And
That's great.
Peter's seen my light painting and artwork and stuff. And I'm like, well, dude, let me do the album cover, man. That would just be like the
Wow.
most amazing full circle, wouldn't it?
Totally,
Dude,
totally.
oh,
It's already happened.
I don't know where that'll go or if that'll actually happen, but it's a really,
Yeah. It's
ah,
already happened. I
he's
think it's
so
already
amazing.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
really, 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 really great.
That's
And
amazing.
Richie, okay, so we're gonna do the show on the 8th. So he dies on the 8th, and he dies on Easter.
Wow.
Go, bro.
Go, bro. That's crazy, man. That's a crazy story.
He's perfect.
Your eight story definitely tops my eight story. And Julie saying launched. Launched.
Yeah, exactly. Resurrection, man. You know, I am heartbroken for Peter and Brian and the grandkids, and most of all Esther. But I'm overjoyed for him, dude, because physical suffering like that is just,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. It's
no,
horrible. It's horrible.
no, no, no. And I'm overjoyed that he's released and free and flying now.
Mhm,
It
mhm.
makes me really, really, really happy.
Right. Right. Trisha's son died on 8/08. So
So, on a comedic note, you know, Richie and I shot so many commercials and little bullshit films and stuff. And so we were working on a real estate kind of thing, and I'm shooting it with my friend Craig Whitaker at Native Films. And we get this talent hired, this spokesperson, and we had it on the recommendation of someone who will go nameless. But this woman could not read the lines to save her soul. And she was sitting there with the chairman of the board of this real estate investment firm and couldn't even get his name right. So it's entitled The Excruciating Interview. And I just ask you to enjoy.
all right. And this is amazing.
By the way, the woman in here, her name is B. And she and I are good friends. She's a really super cool lady. We've looked at this together before. She laughed her ass off. So all good.
Here we go. You ready? Everybody enjoy the short film by Brian Law.
Carabis. Carabis.
Not to worry.
Carabis. Good morning, I am B, and here we are in the Florida Showcase. Joining me today is Jack Carabis, a vice president of the Sun of the Hudson Capital. I'm
to
not
worry.
reading it.
Okay, great. Just Jack Carabis with Hudson Capital.
With Hudson Capital, a real estate company development. Good morning, I am B, Jax Carabis. Jax Carabis. Joining me today is Jax Carabis for the showcase. Jack. Okay, Jack Carabis. Jack Cannabis.
Carabis.
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 Carabis. Jax has over 20 years of experience. Program dedicated to explore the wonder and financial real estate Florida and Florida market. Cavives is Jack Cavives. Today is Jack Cavives.
It's Jack Carabes.
Carabes. Okay. It is Jack Cavives. Cavives? Cavives?
Carabes.
Carabes. Okay. Is Jack Cannabis. Is Jack Carabes. Like karaoke.
Oh my God.
Cannabis. Today is Jack Cannabis. It's Jack Cannabis.
Perfect.
And here we are in the show. Okay. Here with me, I have Jack Jacobit. Jack Carabes. Jack Carabes, the vice president for sale of the hot Jack. Okay, Carabes, give me 1 second. There's something going on here.
Oh.
Jack Carabes, Jack Carabes, Jack Carabes. Jack Carabes, Jack Carabes, vice president of the hunt. Jack Carabes, vice president of. Sorry. Jack Carabes, vice president
when you're dead,
of the
you're
Sun
dead.
Hut.
Oh my God.
And tell me what is to do. How you doing, Jackson?
Tell me what to
And
do.
what
How
is
you
to
doing,
do
Jackson?
in-
Well,
Dude,
what is
you
to
have
do
no
directly
idea.
In Miramar are a variety of
fact
generally
he stayed
outdoor
so
activities.
cool.
Of course.
Just the greatest thing ever, man.
That
You know,
poor
pretty
guy.
much every other CEO would be like, "What the hell is going on?"
That poor
Oh,
guy.
God, right?
Really saying poor Jack. That's amazing, and it's just funny because that was actually not like meant to be that. That was just something you got the
And then we
footage.
wound up asking B to step aside and wound up finding someone else to.
So
actually
she was
do it.
hired as a spokesperson. She was
She was
supposed.
hired to do that as like, yeah, they were doing this whole, they had this British real estate company that wanted to talk to the Latin community. So it had to be a Spanish girl, a Spanish speaking girl that spoke English. What the, it was just crazy, man. And she kind of came recommended, not really even recommended, sort of insisted from somebody else. And you know, it was like, okay, whatever. Let's just get it over with, please. And then when you're on the set and you're seeing that happen, I can't even tell you.
Oh
like,
my God! Like I can't even imagine how you were. So I'm a patient guy, and I just would have been like, yeah. I don't think I would have been.
People were moving away from me with every day.
I don't think I would have. I wouldn't have gotten that much footage because I would have given up before. I would have been like, "Listen, this isn't working. We're gonna get somebody else."
Well, it wasn't like a huge budget job, so it was
Right.
like just the shoestring already, you know. So to like go reshoot it and like,
But it didn't even seem like just the like once she got past the name, she was even saying like Hudson. She was like son of something Hudson.
there was no getting it. It was
Oh my God.
yeah, it was
Whew.
just a dying cause.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in the wisdom of my later later life, I would have shot that thing like way earlier and put everybody out of its misery. But
Oh my God.
hey, you live and learn.
Yeah, no, that. But hey, listen, you got that amazing short piece out of it. That's great. I love that you put this is a true story.
So, just on one last note before I get off of that, I just want this to be like, you know, I thought about what kind of gift I could give Richie. I mean, he gave me so much, was so much a part of my life, and I have to tell you, I've got this like hole right in my solar plexus now. It's like he's gone, and you know, kind of like the last one. You know, I'm like the Lone Ranger again. It's like, wow, I guess this is good. I'd rather be the last one standing than the first one to go, I guess. So,
Yeah.
you know, but at the same time, it's just, I wanted to just be a super celebration of a really amazing person. And to Esther and the kids and the grandkids, much love. And it was really one of the greatest joys of my life to be your dad's friend. And love
Do you
him.
want me to show the rest of these photos?
Sure, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, you have a bunch of photos here. I don't know if you want to talk about them or.
That's Peter. Yeah.
Hold on, let me
Richie.
put on some.
The ultimate scammer, man. He always had a scam. He always had an angle. It's very, very funny. Yeah. Yeah, that's Peter. The New York days. Yeah.
Oh,
Michael
wow.
Landon. Yeah.
I was gonna
And the
say.
NBC days. Man, they had so many of those pictures with all those.
That's awesome.
Little House on the Prairie. Yeah. Mom's so weird.
I think that's the last.
Sharpest attack to the last. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Salute, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the last photo that I have. Let me just double check here. I got that one, that one, that one, that one.
So this past Saturday, I got to go do some readings at the Goddess Gathering, the Full Moon Goddess Gathering. Got to see a bunch of my friends. Trish was there, and Trish's daughter was there. And you know, like you read for people, and you know, sometimes you give people that actually information or some little key or tidbit that actually makes a difference for them.
Yeah.
And back it was either the first or second one. Trish brought her daughter in, and she was just really kind of really just introverted and kind of like scared, and like did this reading for her and had been doing success, and she just like latches on to stuff and starts making these like huge changes in herself. And I saw her on Saturday night, and she's a different woman in like 6 months. And I'm like,
Wow.
woohoo, man. So if you're out there watching, props, baby. Keep it up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Up. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Trish Rivers' daughter. Yeah. Pretty amazing.
That's so great when you know you make a difference, and it's so cool. It's also so cool to be able to see somebody change, like find something that is a part of themselves that they are just able to resonate with and express, and then it changes who they are.
Exactly.
It's so great to
and
see
it's
that.
even rarer for somebody to come up and say, hey, this thing you said like really made a difference to me. You don't super rare for that. You don't, that's not really the reason you're doing it, But
no, not at all. Right.
When it happens, it's like goodness gracious, man.
Totally.
Super crazy. So next week will be the 9s. I'm looking to have my bud Raphael and a special little guest that he's been doing some shows with.
Oh, nice.
Xerxes.
Yeah. Awesome. I love the international flavors you bring.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about the 9s and specifically about artificial intelligence and kind of diving into that.
Awesome. Awesome. An excellent topic. I love talking about things that are, significant. That's certainly a significant thing.
Yeah. And when you're dealing with the 9 of Wands, which sort of represents an opposing force that looks inconquerable, but you just go into it anyway with the wand blazing.
Nice. I like that interpretation of AI. Like it looks like an opposing force that's inconquerable, but
it does.
We have faith, we have knowledge, we have strength.
Every day is a new day.
Yes, every day is a new day. Awesome. Well, I guess that means we're kind of wrapping up the show, which is cool. I thought that was good. I apologize for not having my hard drive, threw me off a little bit at the beginning there, but we always get back on track. And my condolences for your losses, but again, it's also amazing to see humans who can process this way, you know what I mean? Process the transformation,
Jinsen Jitsu, grief.
Yeah.
Works gangbusters.
Yeah. Awesome.
Helped me a lot.
Awesome. All right, folks. Well, I guess that's it for this week. And we always, as always, we appreciate you coming. and we'll be back next week for the nines.
The nines. Nines, number 9. Number 9.